I've been traveling quite a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I was starting to feel that jittery, anxiety driven energy from like not having a stable, grounded routine and kind of feeling a bit lost, a little bit like not knowing like where to put my creative energy. And I think I just needed some time to regroup, recalibrate, and refocus my energy on like what I need. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off the AC because it's kind of loud. Okay, also, sorry, the lighting is like changing every 5 minutes. I'm in New York, so this loft doesn't have the best lighting, so I'm trying to like catch it when it's decent, but I can't guarantee that the sun isn't going to shift. You know what I mean? So, anyways, this video is about coming back to ourselves and finding our routines again. Even when things are shifting and moving and we're on the go and we have a lot of things to do, a lot of places to be, how do we come back to ourselves and find those routines again and getting back into that creative mode? Because I know for me, if I'm not actively pushing and like moving things forward towards my goals, then I kind of start to feel this anxiety start to build up within myself. That's like, what am I doing? Why am I wasting time? You know, I have all these things I want to do, but I haven't taken the action on them or in the direction of them. And it just starts to feel kind of like overwhelming because on top of the anxiety, you kind of have all this pressure of creative energy that's wanting to just flow through your vessel. It's wanting to come through your body. But if you don't give it an outlet, if you don't give it a place to live or somewhere to like channel into, then it just kind of lives like in your body and it's like this pent up, like anxious energy that just wants to be expressed. And if we aren't expressing it physically, like in a healthy way, in our channeled output, then it can tend to kind of manifest itself in unhealthy ways that could look like turning to vices, that could look like escapism, or just making decisions that aren't fully in alignment with who we are right now. So it's very important to make sure that we are catering to ourselves and that we're thinking about our creative energy as an extension of ourselves. And if we're giving love and caring for ourselves, we have to honor the creative energy that also wants to come through. And that includes making space and making time for that energy to be turned into something. So that looks like setting aside the time to create that thing that you've been wanting to try, or making sure that you are putting together the strategies and taking the actionable steps towards what you actually want to create. This can be kind of difficult when you're on the go. Like when you're traveling, moving from place to place, you don't really have like stable ground to like find yourself and really like hone in on that creative energy. I'm speaking from my own experience. That's okay if you need to take a day or two to just like get your bearings, gather yourself, ground yourself, and come back to yourself. Maybe you need to journal. That's what I needed to do this morning. I ended up journaling and just kind of getting my thoughts out of my head and onto the paper. And that helps so significantly, truly. Like, it's something about having all those thoughts, all that energy just like trapped in your body that just needs to be expressed in some way. So finding like the point of least resistance and how you can express that in a healthy way, like through journaling, and just allowing those thoughts to flow. Everything that you've been feeling, everything that you've been experiencing, letting that just come out naturally. And then it can all start to like clear some space in your mind so you can actually develop more of a framework for how to move forward. So like I said, this happened to me. I'm traveling, I was feeling ungrounded, I didn't really have a stable place that I could develop these ideas and just pour into myself creatively. So I needed to take a few days for myself to step away, to ground, to just find my own flow again. And that's what led me to journaling. And from journaling, I was able to discover what it is that I actually need in these moments when things are feeling ungrounded and when things are feeling like so on the go and a little bit chaotic. How do I even create from that space? And what I found from my journaling prompts, or what came through when I was journaling, was this need to find routine. No matter what we do, routines are always something that can bring us back to our alignment. It can bring us back into our frame, refocus ourselves into what it is that we want to do, what we're achieving, what we're moving towards. And those routines are sort of the foundational blocks that we can build everything else from. But if you're moving through life without a routine and without that sense of structure in your life, then you're only going to be creating more chaos. You're going to be trying to build something on a foundation of chaos. And it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel comfortable. So the best thing that we can do is develop some sort of routine for yourself. And this can be super simple. This could be something like just getting up and having your morning coffee, having your morning tea, going for a walk, journaling, doing yoga, moving your body, like doing something that's going to give you that purpose to get on this path of like tapping back into yourself, things that you enjoy, like doing things that you like naturally, incorporating that in your daily routine. I know sometimes if we're traveling, it can be like you're in a new space, you don't know where to go, you don't know what place to go to get your coffee, you don't know, you're not familiar with the area, so you don't know like where the best place to walk is and stuff like that. Like it can just feel a bit like just like finding your feet again, like trying to get your feet under yourself. And that's why I say it's okay to give yourself some time to ground and to like get your bearings a little bit. That's what I had to do. But once you do that, and once you've decided, like, I definitely know that I like going out, going for a walk in the mornings or whatever, getting my coffee, getting my tea, whatever. Now you can start somewhere. Now you have that thing that's, no matter where you're at, you can have that constant thing that is, I'm going to pull out my journal every day. I'm going to pull out my journal first thing in the morning. You know, I'm going to go find a coffee shop wherever I'm at, or I'm going to make my coffee wherever I'm at, you know. Those things, as little as they are, they truly create such a stable foundation. It's so underestimated and a little bit understated because we don't really think too much about that, about like how much stability that can bring, just having that routine every day and showing up for that every day. And once you like have developed that as a constant in your routine, now you can say, okay, now I'm up, I've had my coffee. Now, after my coffee, I like to pour into my creative efforts. I like to do something for myself that is honoring my creativity. But sometimes, like personally, what I've found is if I don't have a routine and I'm just like taking every day as it comes and I'm like flying by the wind, one day I want to get up and walk and drink coffee, and then the next day I just want to lay in bed and like not do anything, and then the next day I'm feeling a bit lost because I feel like I wasted time yesterday, like laying in bed or whatever, or just like, I don't know, just feeling too much all over the place. Like sometimes we can just swing a little bit too much, you know? Like it helps just having that structure just so that it can swing a little bit less. So that we have at least some parameters for how we like go about our day, you know? Or at least how we start our day. So yeah, that's something that came through for me this morning as I was journaling, is that the things that have helped me the most have been finding routine again. Every time I felt ungrounded, every time I felt like spiraling into this lost energy or like chaos, I'm like, okay, things feel chaotic because there is no structure. And so I just have to find my way back to that structure. And as soon as I do, then it's like, oh, okay, like things are moving again. Like I'm writing again, I'm making things again, I'm posting again. Like I'm doing the things that I love to do on top of the travel, on top of seeing new places. But it's sort of like when you are in charge of your own life and when you're not living by a traditional schedule, I would say, like the schedule of the Matrix, this like 9 to 5 life, it can feel a little bit daunting because there's so much time now. So having a structure and having a schedule is so important. I'm not going to, I can't reiterate that enough. Having some sort of a schedule is like, it's almost like make or break, because if you don't have any kind of structure to your day, you're going to feel less like you're making less progress. It's going to feel like you can't see as clearly because you don't have anything to like go by like day by day. And you're also like almost letting your own whims and like things that you want to do like fall by the wayside a little bit, because like there isn't, how do I put this? It's like what the things that we create structure for in our lives are usually the things that we prioritize. For instance, we prioritize needing to eat because we have to eat, right? So we structure our day around, okay, I'm going to get some food. I need to find a place to eat. I need to find some food to eat, whatever. We structure our lives around career, around, like I said, like this 9 to 5 life, like we structure our lives around that. That's something that some people prioritize. But what about ourselves? What about that tea that you love? What about that walk that you enjoy? Do you prioritize that? Because if you do, wouldn't you structure that into your day? Wouldn't you structure that into your everyday life? And that's something that I personally had to come to terms with, is like, if I love to do these things, if I know they bring me joy and I know they bring me structure, why am I putting them off? Or why am I not doing them? Because even if I'm in a new place, who cares? I can still find some tea. I can still find some place to exercise or move my body, or, you know. So it's about priorities. It's about prioritizing yourself and putting your self-love, your self-worth, the things that you enjoy, making those things a part of your daily routine, because they are important. They're just as important as anything else that you prioritize, you know? They deserve to be on the schedule. So, that's what this message was. I was writing this earlier today on my Substack. I'll link that below if you're interested. And yeah, take some time today and figure out a decent, simple schedule that you can do, that you can implement every day, that's going to help you realign yourself, restructure your life, and just like create some form of a container to hold yourself. Prioritize your needs, your wants, and your desires. And yeah, that structure is going to lead into more space for other things to naturally grow and blossom and come through creatively. Yeah, that's really what it's about. It's like creating more space. Like, if we are spending so much of our bandwidth trying to just figure out on a daily, like, what do we want to do with our day? How are we going to spend our day? I'm just, flying by the wind here. But if we can clear some of that mental capacity and say, okay, I know I'm starting my day with a tea. I know I'm starting my day with a walk. And everything else after that, I can leave it a little bit more open. But I know that I'm getting my day started in this structure that is foundational, that is in alignment with the things that I love. And naturally, that is just going to lead to more productivity, more structure, more movement, active movement towards your goals and the things that you enjoy doing. So, okay, this is kind of a longer video than I expected. I feel like maybe that took longer to get my thoughts, like, pointed in. Is that a word? Pointed, structured. But yeah, like I said, I posted an article about this on my Substack, which I'll link in the description. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Stay blessed. Bye.